It's 3 a.m. The house is silent. You're in that deep, restful sleep you've been chasing all day, and then it hits. It's not just a pain. It's a lightning bolt of sheer, paralyzing agony that rips you out of sleep. Your calf or foot is locked into a vice grip, and for the next 60 seconds, which feel like an hour, you are completely helpless. We've all heard the easy advice: drink more water or stretch before bed. That advice is lazy. It treats the symptom, not the cause. For years, the medical system has framed these cramps as a simple muscle issue, a dehydration problem. But what if I told you the truth is far deeper? What if I told you that agonizing jolt is actually your body desperately trying to tell you that 3 crucial minerals are completely depleted, and those minerals are being drained by foods you probably eat every single day? I'm talking about the hidden, catastrophic trifecta of depletion that triggers the nocturnal muscular attack. My name is your channel name, and in the next 30 minutes, we are going to expose the real mineral secrets behind your cramps. I'm not going to give you a simple grocery list. We are going to dive into the 7 foods that don't just prevent cramps, but can instantly stop an attack. One of them acts like a neurological circuit breaker, giving you relief in under 60 seconds. But before we get to the immediate cures, we have to understand the anatomy of the attack. In the next section, we're going to look at Phase 1, the warning, and the single, most common food misconception that is silently setting your muscles up for failure every single night. If you love a crisp salad, you need to hear this. Stay with me. Welcome back. We are diving deep into the science of the cramp, which I break down into 3 distinct phases. And Phase 1 is the warning. This is the subtle feeling you might dismiss, the slight twitch, the restless legs as you try to fall asleep, or the feeling that your hamstrings are constantly on. This isn't just restlessness. It's your muscles crying out for electrolyte balance. The crucial mineral involved here is potassium, K. Potassium is the volume controller for your muscle cells. It works with sodium to manage fluid balance, but more importantly, it dictates when a muscle should fire and, crucially, when it should relax. When potassium levels dip too low, the signal to relax gets overridden and the muscle stays contracted. That is the beginning of the cramp. Now let's talk about the silent killer, the salad trap. What's the first thing people suggest for better health? A big salad. And while they are generally great, here's the problem. Many seniors, especially those who are highly conscientious about their diet, often consume too many diuretic or high-water foods without adequately replacing the electrolytes that flush out. Think iceberg lettuce, celery, and excessive plain water consumption, particularly in the late afternoon. If you're not getting enough dense, mineral-rich foods, you are essentially washing the potassium out of your system, setting up the failure. The problem isn't the salad, it's the balance. Our first weapon against Phase 1 is designed to fix this critical potassium deficit. It's a sweet, delicious, and incredibly dense root vegetable, the sweet potato. Why the sweet potato and not a regular potato or a banana? Because a medium sweet potato provides almost 700 milligrams of potassium, nearly double that of a typical banana. But here's the kicker. It's also rich in beta-carotene, which aids in the cellular absorption of that potassium. Eating 1 sweet potato a day, perhaps roasted with a sprinkle of sea salt to provide counterbalancing sodium, is one of the most effective ways to preemptively stabilize your potassium balance and silence Phase 1. The warning. This is a slow, steady, long-term fix, preventing the depletion cycle entirely. But potassium is only one piece of the puzzle. The real lockup, the muscle spasm itself, Phase 2, the attack, is controlled by the most famous anti-cramp mineral. In the next section, we'll look at the powerful, dark green leafy vegetable that delivers this mineral and why the way most people cook it actually destroys its power. Don't scroll away. This is the missing link. Let's move on to the terrifying heart of the problem. Phase 2, the attack. This is the moment your muscle fiber goes from slightly tense to a fully contracted, agonizing knot. The key players here are calcium and magnesium, Mg. Think of calcium as the muscle's go signal, the trigger for contraction. Magnesium, on the other hand, is the muscle's stop signal, the relaxant, the natural inhibitor. They work in tandem, like the brake and accelerator in your body's motor. When you have enough of both, the system is balanced. The problem for most people experiencing cramps is a drastic magnesium deficiency. Without enough magnesium, the calcium signal to contract runs wild, unchecked, forcing the muscle into that prolonged, painful spasm we call a cramp. It's the accelerator stuck without a brake. This is where our second weapon comes in. Spinach, the dark green powerhouse. Spinach is a magnesium bomb. Just 1 cup of cooked spinach can provide over 150 milligrams of magnesium, often exceeding half of your daily requirement. But here is the critical strategic point that your competitor's video probably missed: oxalates. Spinach is also high in naturally occurring compounds called oxalates, which can bind to magnesium and other minerals, making them harder for your body to absorb. If you're eating raw spinach salads for this purpose, you might only be getting a fraction of the benefit. A quick, light sauté or a fast steam, the wilting method, significantly reduces the oxalate content without destroying the vital magnesium. You want your spinach slightly wilted, not boiled to oblivion. Add a splash of olive oil and a dash of lemon juice. The fat aids the absorption, and the acid helps break down the oxalates. This isn't just about eating spinach. It's about optimizing the magnesium delivery system. I recently spoke with a viewer who had chronic nightly cramps for 15 years. He was eating handfuls of raw spinach every day, thinking he was solving the problem. We switched him to 1 cup of lightly sautéed spinach with dinner, and his cramps vanished in 3 days. It's the preparation that makes the difference. We've addressed the potassium, the warning, and the magnesium, the attack. But what about the third phase? Phase 3, the aftermath, the lingering soreness and inflammation. This requires a mineral and an anti-inflammatory component that no vegetable can provide. In the next section, we expose the deep-sea swimmer that combats the crippling post-cramp soreness and why it's superior to expensive supplements. Keep watching. We have made it to Phase 3, the aftermath. The cramp has subsided, but you are left with a pulsing ache, a persistent stiffness, and that deep, localized soreness that can last for hours or even into the next day. This phase is characterized by localized muscle inflammation and micro-tearing. The intense contraction has caused damage, and now your body is sending an inflammatory response to start the repair. If you are getting nightly cramps, this inflammation is chronic, making your muscles more susceptible to the next attack. To address the aftermath, we need 2 things: a mineral to rebuild and an anti-inflammatory to soothe. Enter salmon, the omega-3 warrior. Salmon is a nutritional triple threat against chronic cramping. First, it contains a significant amount of calcium and vitamin D. Wait, I thought magnesium was the key? It is, but vitamin D is absolutely necessary for the body to absorb calcium effectively. They are partners. We need vitamin D to ensure the calcium is properly utilized, not just floating around. Second, and most critically for Phase 3, salmon is one of the best sources of omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA. These are potent natural anti-inflammatories. They don't just mask the pain. They actively reduce the systematic inflammation in the muscle tissue. They help dampen the fire that makes the post-cramp soreness linger. By reducing chronic inflammation, you make the muscle less irritable and less likely to seize up in the first place. This is crucial for long-term cramp freedom. The strategic recommendation: aim for 3 servings of wild-caught salmon per week. The benefit isn't instant, it's cumulative. The omega-3s build up in your cell membranes, making them more pliable, less rigid, and less reactive to small mineral dips. Think of it as muscle armor. Many people take cheap, synthetic fish oil pills. The absorption and concentration are often questionable. Getting your omega-3s directly from the food, especially fatty fish like salmon, ensures a much higher bioavailability and the benefit of all the cofactors, like vitamin D, that work together. This is the difference between a synthetic patch job and holistic muscle repair. We've covered the 3 phases with the long-term fix foods. But what if you need help right now? What if you are curled up in agony? The next three foods are not for prevention. They are immediate rescue foods. In the next section, we reveal the creamy, delicious fruit that is the most bioavailable source of a key cramp-fighting mineral, and why you should be eating it before bed. Get ready for food number 4. Okay, the fire alarm is ringing. You feel that familiar tingling starting in your calf, and you know the full-blown attack is just moments away. Forget long-term solutions for a moment. We need a fast, effective delivery of the key minerals. This brings us to the first of our immediate rescue foods, the mighty avocado. Avocados are nutritional superstars for several reasons, but for cramp relief, they are the champion of magnesium and potassium delivery. Yes, we've talked about spinach and sweet potatoes, but the avocado has two strategic advantages. High bioavailability. The fat content in avocados, the healthy monounsaturated kind, acts as a fantastic delivery vehicle. Magnesium and potassium are fat-soluble to some extent, and the healthy fats ensure the absorption is incredibly fast and efficient. Your body doesn't have to work hard to access the nutrients. Density and speed. A medium avocado contains more potassium than 4 bananas and is densely packed with magnesium. If you are a chronic cramp sufferer, incorporating half an avocado with a pinch of sea salt for sodium balance as your last snack of the evening is a game changer. Why? Because the nutrient absorption starts immediately. As you enter the deep sleep cycle, the exact time when most nocturnal cramps occur, your muscles are bathed in a fresh supply of highly available magnesium and potassium, essentially buffering the depletion cycle as it starts. Analogy: think of your muscle mineral stores as a battery. Sweet potatoes charge it slowly, but an avocado is like a power bank you plug in just before the system goes critical. It prevents the battery from completely draining while you sleep. Furthermore, the creamy texture of the avocado makes it easy to digest, which is critical for seniors. You don't want your body diverting energy to a complex digestion process just before bed. Avocado is fantastic for the preventative rescue, the pre-attack phase. But what if you are already screaming? What if the cramp is a 10 out of 10 on the pain scale? You can't wait for an avocado to digest. For that, we need a lightning-fast, highly acidic liquid that bypasses the digestive system and hits the nervous system instantly. In the next section, we reveal the controversial kitchen staple that stops a cramp in its tracks. You'll be surprised. It's cheap and it's effective. This is the emergency call. The cramp has locked on. You need something that doesn't rely on slow absorption through the digestive tract. You need a neurological hack. You need something that screams at your brain's motor cortex. Stop the muscle contraction immediately. Our fifth food, and the most immediate rescue, is yellow mustard. Yes, you heard that right. Not the fancy Dijon, but the cheap, plain, bright yellow stuff you put on a hot dog. Here is the science, which is fascinating and completely bypasses the mineral discussion we've had so far. This isn't about replacing magnesium or potassium. It's about overriding the signal. Yellow mustard is highly acidic. When you ingest a spoonful of mustard or other high-acid foods like pickle juice, which we'll discuss later, the intense, sudden influx of strong flavor activates a nerve receptor in the back of your throat called the transient receptor potential (TRP) channel. This massive, sudden signal travels directly to your brainstem. The brain interprets this huge, non-painful but intense signal as an emergency, and, in a fascinating neurological short circuit, it sends a powerful inhibitory signal down the spinal cord to the overcontracted muscle. It's like pressing the reset button on your entire motor system. The contraction signal is overridden. Keep a small jar of cheap yellow mustard next to your bed or in a mini fridge. At the first sign of a cramp, or, God forbid, during the full attack, take 1 tablespoon of plain yellow mustard. Don't savor it, just swallow it quickly. For most people, the cramp begins to release within 30 to 90 seconds. It's an immediate, though slightly unpleasant, solution. Many people think the vinegar in the mustard is the cure because vinegar has potassium. While that's partially true, the real power here is the nerve signal interruption caused by the acidity and flavor compounds, like turmeric. That is why this works so much faster than waiting for any mineral absorption. Mustard is the emergency override button. But for those who hate the taste of straight mustard, there is an equally effective, slightly more palatable, highly acidic liquid that comes with the added benefit of electrolytes, especially sodium. In the next section, we reveal the liquid the ancient Romans used to treat muscle fatigue and why modern athletes swear by it today. Don't go anywhere. The ultimate rescue food is next. If the idea of a spoonful of straight mustard makes you cringe, you'll be relieved to know there's an alternative for the neurological override that comes with an added, immediate mineral boost: pickle juice. Pickle juice, specifically the brine from fermented cucumbers, serves two powerful functions in the fight against cramps, combining the best of the neurological hack and the mineral fix. The neurological override. Just like mustard, pickle juice is intensely sour and acidic due to the vinegar and fermentation. Drinking a small shot triggers those same TRP channels in your throat, sending the stop signal to your nervous system. This is the immediate cramp release mechanism. It's fast. Sodium and electrolyte surge. Unlike mustard, the brine is absolutely saturated with sodium, salt. When a cramp is caused by severe dehydration and electrolyte loss, like after a very hot day or heavy sweating, the rapid intake of sodium helps restore the essential osmotic balance in your blood. Sodium is essential for water retention and for allowing those other key minerals, potassium and magnesium, to even do their job inside the cell. It's the highway system for the electrolytes. The strategic distinction: pickle juice is better than plain water or even most sports drinks in this emergency situation because the high concentration of sodium and the intense acidity hit the nervous system and the circulatory system almost simultaneously. A shot of this brine can get you back to sleep much faster. A study published in the Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise Journal found that pickle juice relieved electrically induced muscle cramps 45% faster than drinking plain water and 37% faster than a sports drink. The researchers attributed this success primarily to the neurological reflex, not just the hydration. The warning: if you have high blood pressure, you must use this remedy very judiciously and check with your doctor, as the sodium content is extremely high. Use it only for the immediate rescue, not as a daily preventative measure. We have one rescue food left, and it's the one that acts as a soothing balm for both your muscles and your digestive system. It addresses a hidden cause of mineral loss that most people overlook: gut health. In the next section, we reveal the final, fermented food that locks in your minerals and fights cramps from the inside out. This is a powerful, surprising anti-cramp food. You can eat all the spinach, salmon, and avocados in the world, but if your gut isn't working correctly, you are pouring those precious minerals down the drain. This brings us to a crucial, often overlooked factor in chronic cramping: mineral malabsorption due to poor gut health. Your magnesium, potassium, and calcium are all absorbed in the small intestine. If your gut flora is out of balance, a condition called dysbiosis, or if the gut lining is inflamed, the efficiency of this absorption plummets. You can be consuming enough, but your body is only taking in a fraction. Our seventh and final food addresses this gut cramp connection: plain Greek yogurt or kefir. Greek yogurt and kefir are rich in probiotics, the healthy bacteria that populate your gut. By cultivating a healthy and robust gut biome, you actively improve the efficiency of your small intestine. This means that all the magnesium from your spinach, all the potassium from your sweet potato, and all the calcium from your diet suddenly become much more available to your bloodstream and, eventually, your muscles. The yogurt is the mineral absorption optimizer. But there's an immediate cramp benefit too. Yogurt is also a fantastic source of calcium. While we want magnesium to relax the muscle, a consistent supply of easily digestible calcium is necessary for normal, healthy contraction and relaxation cycles. An imbalance of calcium can also trigger cramps. The high-quality, easily absorbed calcium in yogurt provides a gentle, daily top-up. Choose plain, full-fat Greek yogurt or kefir with live and active cultures. Avoid the low-fat, high-sugar versions, which defeat the purpose. A small serving with a few blueberries, antioxidants, and perhaps some pumpkin seeds, more magnesium, makes a perfect midday or evening snack. This is a long-term, systemic fix that addresses the root cause of chronic depletion. We've covered the 7 powerful foods, from the slow-burn preventatives to the lightning-fast neurological overrides. But now, it's time for the true strategy. In the next section, I'm going to reveal my 3-part anti-cramp protocol, the exact timing and combination of these foods that ensures you are covered 24/7. This is the schedule your competitor's simple list will never give you. Understanding the 7 foods is excellent, but strategy wins the game. Cramps happen because your body's mineral stores reach a critical low point overnight. We need a targeted approach to refill those stores and have an emergency kit ready. Here is my proprietary 3-part anti-cramp protocol. 1. The morning/midday recharge, the long-term prevention. Goal: rebuild magnesium, potassium, and omega-3 reserves for the entire week. Protocol: focus on the structural rebuilders, salmon, spinach, sweet potato. Lunch/dinner. Ensure you consume a cooked portion of spinach or sweet potatoes at least 4 times a week. Weekly. Eat salmon 2 to 3 times a week to keep inflammation low. Gut health. Start your day with Greek yogurt/kefir to prime the absorption system. 2. The pre-sleep buffer, the critical hour. Goal: deliver a high, bioavailable dose of easily absorbed minerals just before the danger zone. Protocol: this is the time for the bioavailable avocado bomb. 90 minutes before bed, have half an avocado mashed with a little sea salt or a small handful of almonds, another excellent magnesium source. The science: the fat in the avocado slows down digestion slightly, ensuring a slow, steady trickle of potassium and magnesium is entering your bloodstream throughout the first few hours of sleep, directly counteracting the nightly mineral dip. This is your insurance policy. 3. The bedside emergency kit, the override. Goal: instant neurological short circuit if an attack occurs. Protocol: the immediate rescue foods must be within arm's reach. Setup: keep a small shot glass of pickle juice or a small jar of yellow mustard on your bedside table or in a mini fridge. Action: if you wake with a cramp, immediately take a tablespoon of the acidic solution. Do not try to walk it off first. Override the signal immediately. By combining the morning/midday rebuild with the pre-sleep buffer and the bedside emergency kit, you are attacking the problem from every angle: long-term depletion, nightly vulnerability, and immediate attack. This is the difference between simply hoping your cramps stop and strategically forcing them to stop. We've laid out the plan, but there are still 3 toxic foods you must eliminate immediately because they are single-handedly destroying all your mineral reserves. In the final, most crucial section, we look at the anti-cramp supplements you should avoid and the final, powerful step you need to take to live cramp-free. We have given you the weapons, but now we must remove the roadblocks. You can eat all the superfoods we discussed, but if you continue to consume these 3 items, your fight against cramps will be a losing battle. These are the 3 hidden mineral killers. 1. Diet sodas and excessive caffeine. The killer: phosphoric acid, found in almost all dark sodas and colas. This acid binds to calcium and magnesium in your digestive tract, creating compounds that are completely unabsorbable. You are literally flushing your key minerals away. The caffeine also acts as a diuretic, further encouraging mineral loss. Action: stop drinking dark sodas and limit coffee to the morning. 2. Excessive refined sugar. The killer: insulin response and magnesium burn. When you consume a massive dose of refined sugar, desserts, candy, pastries, your body releases insulin to manage the sugar spike. This process consumes significant amounts of magnesium. Every time you spike your blood sugar, you are burning through your magnesium reserves. Action: eliminate high-sugar snacks, especially in the evening. 3. Alcohol, especially before bed. The killer: diuretic effect and nutrient blockade. Alcohol is a powerful diuretic. It forces your kidneys to flush water and electrolytes, especially potassium and magnesium, out of your body. Drinking even a moderate amount before bed ensures you will be in a state of depletion during the critical overnight hours. Action: cut out alcohol for a month and watch your cramps disappear. When you go to the pharmacy for a magnesium supplement, you will see a massive bottle of the cheapest option, magnesium oxide. Do not buy it. Magnesium oxide has a ridiculously low bioavailability, as low as 4% absorption. You are paying for a fancy placebo. Instead, look for magnesium glycinate, highly absorbable and easy on the stomach. Magnesium citrate, good absorption, especially if you also need help with regularity. You now have the complete map to a cramp-free life. We've exposed the 3 phases of the attack, given you the 7 food warriors, from the preventative spinach to the life-saving mustard, and laid out the 24/7 protocol. But knowledge is worthless without action. I want you to pick one long-term food, like sweet potato or spinach, and one immediate rescue food, like mustard or pickle juice. Go to the store today and get them. Commit to this protocol for 1 week. Now, I need to know your experience. In the comments below, tell me, what is the worst time of night your cramps hit? And which of the 7 foods are you going to try first? Your story helps the entire community. If this deep dive has given you a real chance at a peaceful night's sleep, please give this video a like. It tells the YouTube algorithm to share this vital, life-changing information with others suffering in silence. Subscribe to Senior Kids Secrets and hit that notification bell for our next video dives. Thank you for watching. Go reclaim your night. I'll see you in the next video.